You find yourself in the gym and your joints are sore, your performance is kind of suffering, and you wonder to yourself, why is this? Why am I having these poor workouts? Why am I not performing at the regular level that I'm used to? This can be for many reasons. I've covered nutrition in the past and how that might be an issue that you need to take care of, but let's say that your nutrition is being taken care of. You're getting your carbohydrates in right, your calorie intake is right where it needs to be for whatever your goals are. But still, your workouts they're not that good. Your joints are sore, your muscles are sore. This can be a perfect time to take a deload. So today I want to go over what a deload is, when to take a deload, why to take a deload, and just kind of amalgamate that all into one type of easy to use kind of formula that you can use right away to help you progress in your programming so that you're not getting injured and you're progressing at the optimal pace for you and you're not stifling your ability to progress. So number one, let's go over what exactly a deload is. A deload is simply usually a week. It depends on how badly you need it, but generally I don't take more than a week for your deload, which is where you're going to reduce your load generally by about 50%. So let's say you're usually lifting 100 pounds. On your deload week, you're only going to be lifting, say, 50 pounds. Your volume is also generally going to be cut right in half. So let's say, maybe normally you do 6 sets. On your deload week, you're going to do 3 sets. So clearly the overall volume of your workout is going to be cut drastically. The intensity is going to be cut drastically. And this is done specifically so that your body can recuperate and recover. Oftentimes when we're going through a long program where we're training really, really hard, our joints can get beat up, and we obviously want to try to avoid that from happening, because if we can't train in the gym, we can't get stronger, we can't get bigger, we can't burn more calories, and we're just not going to get the results that we're looking for in the gym. So in order to counteract that, we insert a deload week every now and then, and I'll be getting into how often that needs to be next. So how often do you need to deload? A deload needs to be done based on your personal preference, your exercise experience, and your injury past. So let's say we have a newer lifter or someone maybe who's lifted on and off for a long time and they're just not super strong. These people don't necessarily need to take a deload every, say, 3 to 4 weeks. They can try and elongate it, but my personal preference for people trying to figure out how often they should be taking a deload is going to be based on experience. So let's say you know that after a long training cycle of, let's say, 6 weeks, generally your body starts getting a little bit sore in areas that it isn't normally sore. That means that in the future that's probably going to be the exact same, and honestly, if you get older and older, it's probably going to become less and less time. So 6 weeks might turn into 5 weeks, which might turn into 4 weeks. So knowing what you know about your own body, you can try and figure out, okay, well, let's say every 6 weeks I'm going to take one deload week. So we're going to plan out 6 weeks in advance, and that 7th week we're going to take a deload, even though you're probably not going to want to, because hopefully after that 6-week cycle you're killing it. But in your head and through your programming that after 6 weeks your joints start getting beat up, and if you take that deload week, it's going to basically get you nice and fresh for another 6 weeks ahead of you. So by the same token, oftentimes if you are training and you can train for longer periods of time, let's say you can go maybe 10 to 12 weeks without taking a deload, sometimes you might have to be forced to take a deload when you're not necessarily having one planned. Let's say you're in the gym and you haven't deloaded in 10 weeks and you're starting to get a little bit sore in your shoulders or your elbows or your knees or your hips, and your body's giving you a message that you probably need to hit the brake pedal and ease off a little bit. This can be a perfect time to take a deload. I prefer kind of more a proactive measure rather than a reactive measure, so I prefer taking that deload week at a specific time interval. So I suggest simple time intervals: 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 10 weeks, and 12 weeks are very, very good intervals. 12 weeks can be kind of long. That's why, if you're doing a 12-week program, it kind of depends on how the programming is made, but you might think about having a deload week somewhere in the middle there. Now you know what a deload is. It's simply a tool that you can use in order to allow your body to rest and recover and allow your joints to get back to normal. You know how often to deload, whether that's a set period of time interval that you're taking between your workouts. Or you can do the reactive method of taking the deload, which is going to be when your body's kind of breaking down and you don't have a set time period, so you know, okay, well, now it's time to take a deload. Make sure when you are deloading, you're not getting into that mindset of, oh, well, you know, I deloaded for 2 days, so I'm just going to try my 1 rep max or 5 rep max or whatever. So try to avoid that. So, you know, go to the gym. Don't worry about, you know, putting your fucking DMX on and trying to get all hyped up. This isn't a time for that. It's a time for allowing your body to rest and recuperate. But one thing I really like about deloads is you can use your deloads as a time period to try and test out new exercises. So if there's a new exercises you've been doing some research on and you think you might want to add into your program, this can be the perfect time to try it out, see how it feels, see how your joints react to it, see how much weight you can do. Although obviously I don't want you to go hard on it, but at least you can get a good feeling for how it is. And yeah, so use that deload time to try to experiment on some different exercises. You know, maybe you can increase the intensity or volume of your conditioning work as long as it's not going to be pounding on your joints at all. And now you're set for your deloads. So if you like this video, I would really appreciate it if you hit the like button. If you're not subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button if there's going to be tons and tons of videos, as I'm sure you're used to now. If you have any comments, questions, concerns regarding the topics I discussed in this video, I answer everything that you ask. So just hit me up in the comments section below, and I look forward to talking to you again soon. Later.